everyone. So I'm super duper excited because I get to join Christy from Christy's Beautiful Life on her 30 days of sketches. So this is the first sketch I get to work with, and I will be joining her every Monday. So that's going to be a great start to your week. So this is a piece of 12 by 12 basil marshmallow cardstock, and I decided I wanted to do something that I do so rarely, and that is I am going to use the packaging technique. So I know what line I want to use for this layout. I just showed you there quickly. It is the Ain't Life Grand line from Ashley Horton that she designed for Pretty Little Studio. And I am super excited to be able to dig into my stash and really pull out collections that I absolutely love and just haven't had a chance to use. So I grabbed some sprays that I thought would match this collection. This first one is Mama Sings the Blues from Shimmers. This is just a flat colorings, no shimmer to it. The next one I'm going to pull out and use is Blue Jeans, which is also a Shimmers product. I think this one does have has some actual shimmer in it. Hold on. Yeah, it's a Vibes. So it has a little bit of shimmer in it. And so I'm going to use these blues, and then I'm going to use some Heidi Swap Citron, Heidi Swap, Color Shine, yeah, Citron, which I think is a really awesome color. I love it, and I very rarely work with products that are this bright lemony, greeny color. It's like neon green, but on this layout it looks awesome because it's super shimmery and fun, and it pairs itself really, really well with all these greens. So I'm just going to go ahead, and I am someone who, when I do the packaging technique, I want a tiny piece of plastic. I want full control of where everything is going to fall. So I also went ahead with most of these areas and put splatters on them. So because I have a sketch, I kind of know where my products are going to go, right? I know that I'm going to do a little bit of layering. I know there's going to be some white space down at the bottom. And so what I'm going to do is I want to use this peach color. So this is another Heidi Swap Color Shine. It's a coral color. And I know that I want to use it, but I also know that if I mix that orange with these blues and greens, I'm going to get mud, like crazy mud. So what I decided to do was I'm going to go ahead and just fill in this second corner, the second area that I want to use the packaging technique with. I'm going to fill it in with just the coral color. And then what I'm going to do is you're going to see here, I'm going to clean up because I clean up. Yeah, I clean up all the time when I'm doing mixed media because I'm just not a fan of the mess. So I took a paintbrush, and what I did was I looked at where the packaging technique had hit some of the other two areas, and I'm just adding just a little teensy tiny bit of color shine with the paintbrush to those areas. And that way, because the other thing that I will say is I let everything dry, so I let all the blues and greens dry before I added the peach color. And by doing it this way, I didn't get any mud. So you can see all the colors. They're all really vibrant. And then because I had let that dry, I could go ahead and add splatters over top to my three areas with the coral, and the coral would sit on top. It wouldn't blend in with everything else. So yeah, I'm really, really happy with how this turned out. I'm not, of course, if you watch my channel, you know I'm not huge into things like the packaging. I really like a more controlled area of mixed media, but I decided to go for it, and I'm really, really happy with how this turned out. I really, really like it. So I'm going to just go ahead and kind of bend this up a little bit. It didn't warp hardly at all, so that was really awesome. And I'm going to let it dry thoroughly, completely dry thoroughly, and then I'm going to grab my supplies that I want to use, and I'm going to go ahead and start creating my layout. So the sketch for this week for today shows 2 photos, but I'm going to use 3. And then I'm going to go ahead and cut some strips of paper. So these are 6x6 papers from the 8 Life Grant collection. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut just 2 strips of each pattern that I want to use, and I'm going to make the strips the same size. And so that will allow me to put them together and have what kind of appears to be 12-inch strips for underneath my photos. For this particular layout, sometimes I would just kind of like tape them down, but for this layout, since I'm not sure exactly how I want the patterns to sit, and having, 2 6-inch strips to constantly have to put together would be a little bit clunky, I'm going to go ahead and use washi tape on the back of the strips to kind of hold them together for me, just to help me with placement so that I don't have to worry about, where things are going. And so these are the patterns I chose. I have this diagonal stripe and those pink arrows, and then this bold pop of black and white, because that appears in the sketch, or not in the sketch, in the line, the product line that I'm using. So I did go ahead and ink all of my layers up with some hickory smoke distress ink, and I'm using pop dots on the back of all 3 of my photos to give them a little bit of a lift. So these are school photos of my niece and my nephews, and I always tell my sister, just give me wallets, because I can put all 3 of their photos on a 12 by 12 or 8.5 by 11 page if I have wallets, and they work really well that way. So now I think I'm doing the top part. My layers for the top part, there are, in the sketch, there are some strips at the bottom and some strips at the top. So I decided to go ahead and just pick out my strips, and I did cut the edges on the bottom. Like, one is cut like a ribbon, one goes all the way across, and then the other one I tore the edge, so there's a little bit of texture down there. But honestly, once I start embellishing, I cover all that texture up, so I don't even know why I bothered. But it looked nice till I covered it all up. So again, just going ahead and hitting everything with some hickory smoke distress ink, and then I'm going to go ahead and adhere all of these super cute layers down to my layout, and keep working and going through and deciding what embellishments I want to use. I don't know why I left this part in. Maybe I felt like I wanted to chit chat to you. So I hope you are all having a fabulous Monday. Monday on my calendar, I believe, means my kids are still out of school. Woohoo! And yeah, I have gotten so many projects and videos done for you guys while my kids were on winter break, because I homeschool. So for me, in our house, their winter break is my winter break. And so I'm super excited about some of the upcoming layouts. There's also at least one for sure coming up that I'm super curious to see what you guys say about it and how you comment on it, because it's a crazy hot mess. And that will be next Monday's sketch challenge, actually, with Christy. So that'll be fun and interesting. You have that to look forward to. So now I'm deciding what I want to use for embellishments. And on the sketch there were circles, and I adore circles. So I'm going to use circles a little bit, in the sense that I'm going to use some of the flares that came with this collection. And another, I did punch a black and white circle from the top, but I don't punch any more circles. I just wanted that black and white to kind of pop up at the top as well. So now I'm using these letter stickers, which are the black and white tile stickers. And they are also from that Pretty Little Studio 8 Life Grand collection. And they use, they're really sweet. I really like Pretty Little Studio's tile stickers. All the collections I have from them include the tile stickers, and they're some of my very, very favorites. So my title's going to be School Days, and I'm going to put the title at the top, and then I'm also going to add at the bottom the year. And so I tried to decide what icons I wanted to use for this layout. I had stars and I had hearts, and then I also had cameras and clouds. And so what I decided to go with are the cameras and the hearts. And I felt like that would work really well. I love the cameras in this collection. They're so stinking cute. Plus, if I use the cameras, then I could add the flares as some more circle elements. So I'm adding some die cuts. I'm going to add 2 die cuts and the flare badges to each side. I like how the flare badges become a I like how the flare badges. I'm sorry. I'm hold on one second. I'll be back. Sorry about that. The little boys in that photo are actually at my house right now having a sleepover with my son, and they are in the next room, and I did tell them to be quiet, but obviously 3 boys having a sleepover, not gonna be super quiet, guys. So I'm sorry about the little bit of background noise, and hopefully it kind of calms down now. So yeah, I'm just creating my little clusters using the circles. So the things I kept true to the sketch were the titles and kind of the design. I did do mixed media on my background, which broke it up a little bit, and I also added 3 photos instead of 2. And that's going to kind of complete the layout, so I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to stick everything down with my glue, and then yeah, I hope you enjoy this sketch month with Christy. She has some amazing designers designing with her, and it's going to be some of my very favorite YouTubers, and it's going to be a wonderful, wonderful time. So be sure to go ahead over to her channel. I'll leave a link below, and you can follow along with her for all of her sketches. Here's a close-up. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you again soon. Bye!